Hello and welcome to part 15 of my Hogwarts MOC series. Today we're going to be taking a look at the trophy room MOC that I've created, but first of all we're going to take another look at Firenze's classroom. So I looked at this 2 updates ago, and I think I said in that video that it was something I put together out of pieces that I already had, using a lot of pieces from my Barracuda Bay set. And while I was pretty happy with it, I wasn't completely sold. So I decided to go back and have another look. So what you're seeing now is the slightly amended Firenze's classroom. I haven't changed it too much, just moved a few things around, swapped some stuff that was on one side and popped it onto the other side. And while I was doing this, another thing that I decided to do was to make a slightly bigger change. Now, I had thought of this, but I was actually reminded of it by one of my commenters. So thank you to Everything Potter. Apologies if I got your name wrong. But it was a brilliant suggestion, which was to use part of this classroom, because it was quite a large space, and section it off and create something else. And that is a familiar looking trapdoor. Now, obviously at the moment it's a little bit empty, but with the reveals of the new sets coming out in June, I have got the perfect place to put the trapdoor and to put Fluffy. Now, I don't know if this is going to be quite big enough. It's not as big as the set. I've just taken a look at the photos and done a rough count at how big it is. But I think that the new model of Fluffy will still fit in there, and there will hopefully still be room to open the trapdoor. That is currently an old trapdoor piece, so it's slightly chunkier than the new version, but it does fit in the same way. And when that set comes out, I am going to get it along with the other sets, and I should hopefully then be able to swap that part out with the newer variant and include some more of the details that are part of that scene. So yes, I've made Firenze's classroom a little bit smaller, but I still quite like it, and I think it still gets in all the details that I would want and allows me to add another scene in here, and it means that I can put my Philosopher's Stone challenges in the rockwork underneath, which is great because I wasn't sure what I was going to do there. So that is the end of the amendments. I may take another look at this when I do get that set, roll on June, and we will finish there and take a look at the trophy room, which is the main subject of this video. And so here we are, this is the trophy room. For reference, we're partway up the grand staircase tower. I've just removed the floors above and also the arch that goes in front, just to give you a better view and let a bit more light in, although it actually does look great when it's in situ, and I'll show you that all in context at the end of the video. So the trophy room is first visited by Harry and Co in the first book, The Philosopher's Stone. I believe it's the location of the midnight duel that Draco Malfoy tries to trick Harry into, which they narrowly escape from. And it pops up, a few times throughout the series. I'm pretty sure Ron has to clean some of it and ends up vomiting slugs all over it in Chamber of Secrets. It definitely gets mentioned down the line. It does pop up in the films. The closest representation, I think, is in Goblet of Fire. It's the scene of the famous calm Dumbledore asking Harry if he put his name in the Goblet of Fire. I believe that is the trophy room, although that set then got repurposed for the Room of Requirement. There was a lot of doing that at the moment, or at that moment in the films. But anyway, this is my interpretation of the trophy room. Now, a few people might notice some familiar looking objects. First things first, there is a shield there for James Potter. Now, this is from an older Harry Potter set. This is from the Hogwarts Castle from 2010, which I previously mentioned that I was lucky enough to get when that came out, and I've used pretty much all of the bricks that were in that as part of my own Hogwarts Castle. But I saved that because I knew it would be really useful, and I've put it into a cabinet which is a very similar design to the one that came in that set. But that was kind of sitting by itself as its own little thing in a hallway, but I've decided to surround it with some other things. So you should be able to see that I've actually put it at an angle. It's just on a single stud underneath, which unfortunately does mean it can come off quite easily, but luckily being at the back there, I don't tend to nudge it too much. In a similar manner to Dumbledore's office, a couple of floors above, I was really happy to see that you can actually use that corner space a little bit more efficiently by having things at an angle. And I've even tried to give representation of some feet for the cabinet there, just using round 1x1 tiles. Just got a couple of goblets, one either side there, one silver, one gold, and another gold one at the back there. I used up the rest of them for the kitchen, so I had to use some other things for elsewhere. So I went on a hunt through my piece collection for anything that looked shiny, and came up with a few things. So I've actually got a trident, which I think started in the Aqua Raiders theme, which was a long time ago. Just got one of those, which is good. A gold arrow, got some gold, a gold 1x1 tile and a silver one, and then a 1x1 round plate in gold as well, just a little stack on the floor. And then coming to the central table, we've got a metallic gold bowl, the piece which originated as a it originated as gold. It's meant to be gold in a mining theme, but I've actually seen it used in yellow as chips or fries in one of the Lego City sets. Just got a couple of precious gems. Yes, one of them's red, but just pretend it's not the Philosopher's Stone for now. An actual trophy, the only actual trophy apart from that shield in the trophy room, which I pinched out of my Black Seas Barracuda, along with the compass next to it. On the side here, we've got this thing, which I'm going to say is a wizard's staff or something like that. It was gold pieces that I had, so I decided to use them. And in front of that, there is this sword just here, which may well have come in the original Chamber of Secrets set. They've now released pictures of the updated version that's coming out in June. I did get the original set, or rather my brother did, and it made its way into our collection. So it's either from that or from a castle set back when they used to do chrome pieces. Speaking of chrome pieces, there are quite a lot of them at the back there. You've got a reddish-brown window there, which I've put inside just loosely. They can move about, just not too much. A chrome key, along with a bunch of chrome coins, which are of the old variety that Lego used to make and doesn't make anymore. They don't have any stud connections or anything, and I think they originally all came on a sprue and you had to disconnect them yourself. They are very cool to look at. I think I got a lot of those in the original Gringotts set. And I don't know if you can just see it, but tucked in there, there is also one ring, just because I like my Lord of the Rings references, and I had a couple of those spare, so popped one in there too. And then last but not least, on the back shelf next to that goblet that I mentioned before is a little lamp which originated in the, I think in the Disney line for the Genie, possibly in a CMF line, I'm not sure. And sitting on top of that, pride and jewel of my collection, is a Niffler. I was so happy to get this. I paid... Well, it wasn't a crazy amount, but I paid too much for the actual amount of plastic that you get. But he is just adorable. He or she is adorable, and I thought the perfect place would be in the trophy room with all the gold around. I think he's just shocked at the moment. Doesn't really know where to start stealing from. Previously, he was sitting in the rafters in my Great Hall, but I thought this was a much better place for him. So that is my trophy room. Just quite happy with the different cabinets that I've constructed. I decided not to put this one at an angle just for variety's sake, so it's actually square to the studs as you would expect. And then just on top you can see this stack of tan studs here. This is actually so that it studs into the floor just above. It may be an illegal building technique, just slightly, I can't tell, but it seems to work, and it just stops this from tipping over. So there we go, that is my trophy room. So what I'll do is I'll pop the arch back on and then the floors back on above, and you'll be able to see it in context. And there it is in context with the arch and the floors back on. Just give them a push to make sure they're firmly seated. I have thought about making the floors removable in a similar manner to how I made the buildings removable from the rockwork, but for the moment I think I'm going to leave it as is. It would require quite a bit more construction, especially around these curved pieces just here. You can do it with the 4x4 round macaroni style tiles, but unfortunately they don't come in tan yet. They do come in dark tan, but that would mean a double layer of dark tan or changing the floors to tan. It just doesn't sit right with me at the moment, so I'm happy to just leave it. You don't get as much light in here, but that being said, when it catches the light just right, so if I tilt it towards the window, you do get a nice amount of light in there, and I think it looks really good. And I'm really happy to be able to start filling up the grand staircase tower. If you go back to the video, which I will link in the corner, the video I did for this in the first place, the tower itself was a little bit empty. You had Dumbledore's office, and then you had basically a room with a knight, and then Dumbledore's office griffin right at the top in completely the wrong place. That is something I'm going to rectify. You might just be able to see those are the griffin's feet. I won't show you any more of that room, but I have made some changes. So that has moved floors, and I have got something else to replace it up above. But I need to make a bricklink order before I can do that. So I will place that order as soon as possible and then show you in a future video. So there we go. I said it would be a shorter update, but I've probably rambled on for far too long. Thank you if you have enjoyed the video. If you could leave it a like down below, that would be amazing. And I always enjoy reading your comments for suggestions and things. Again, thank you to Everything Potter for the idea with the trapdoor and Forense's classroom. If you've enjoyed my content and would like to see more of it, then please subscribe to my channel. And if not, then that's absolutely fine. I just love to have people coming to my videos and commenting and telling me what they think. So have a good time, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.